But I gotta tell you, as you may or may not be able to tell, I hide it so well. I'm a total nerd when it comes to sci-fi and your favorite wrestling. And
Mm.
back in 2001, there was a match. It was The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in this giant stadium. It was the biggest match there's ever been. It was the most money made in one night ever. And ever since that night in 2001, it's always stayed big, but it peaked and it's been downhill.
Mm.
To me, that's what happened with Marvel and Avengers Endgame. That I think that was as humanly big as it could get, box office wise, story wise, and now it's on the downfall. So, would you agree with that, or do you think Marvel will be able to uh, be bigger?
I think that everything is cyclical, right? Like every sports franchise, amazing run will eventually have a rebuilding phase. I think that every movie series or TV show that you like will have its peak and then will eventually just find ways to sustain itself. I think Marvel did a thing that nobody else had ever done before, which is tell, a 22 movie story that was going to have an ending and going to culminate in something insane. And that level of drag, of gravity, of inertia, was impossible to foresee and may or may not be irreplicable. I'm not sure. But I think that the things that happened post Avengers Endgame will by definition need to be smaller because we've solved the very first big problem we had. We killed Thanos, which we've been building to since whatever the hell it was, 2009 with Iron Man. 10 years, 10, 20 movies like to tell that story. And so, yeah, I think we're at the beginning of a new phase and a new era. And so it's going to be smaller for a bit. Like, we're not going to be seeing movies making $2 billion out of the Marvel house for a while. But they will build to something else. They will have to. Whether that something else involves Blade and the X-Men and Fantastic Four, who knows? But I think that there's definitely, there's going to be a quiet before the next storm. And that quiet's probably going to last, 5 or 6 years before they get us back into that mode of, I have to see all of these because I know we're building to something.
Marc Bernardin is so smart that he accidentally made a really great pun. The next storm.
Ah.
Uh,